I will say that we did go back to the same site shortly after. Maybe it was the next day or the day after. And the current was still strong. You want a strong current when you're photographing sharks because that actually brings them in. However, the current on the day prior where I lost my, where I ran out of air was beyond. I mean, it just was beyond. And so this was a reasonable current. And I was able to manage my panic because, of course, you can imagine panic kind of began the minute I felt current in the water. So I had to count my breaths. But I will say that going in again was the right choice because I went through that fear and I actually got the shot that I went on the trip to get, which was an overhead shot or, from below shooting straight up at a huge school of hammerhead sharks in a beautiful formation. So it's one of my favorite shots because I know everything I went through to get it.
And I think, because I had with my very first horse riding experience was just really terrible. It was what basically happened is the person I went with was experienced, and they gave me like an old horse. But when we got it was the Gap of Dunmost. It's kind of like dangerous drops and everything. When it got to the end, it started galloping, and the person that was experienced, I was left. And then the thing came off its mouth, and I was just terrified. And it ran back to eat. And I was driving motorbikes at the time and I couldn't walk for about 3 hours. They were all laughing at me, but I was like, I thought I was going to die because the horse was going so fast, his legs were skeeting. And if his legs went, we were going off a cliff. And it was like, I realized the danger of this, but what I did is I made sure I've only done it once. I've got on a horse again because I didn't want that to be my story. Because sometimes when we experience something bad in life, we just kind of go, no, never again. And then we make it be our story. So I think, same with you, that in the water, you could have easily just thrown in the towel there and you ended up getting one of your best shots. So it's something.
Exactly. That's such a good point. I think we have to face the things that scare us, right? I mean, and in particular around public speaking, right? Like, let's say you have an experience where you bomb or the talk doesn't go well, which has happened to me before. And then it's sort of like getting back on the horse. You have to get back on that horse too and find ways to speak again or show up and get through that fear that the same thing will happen again, because most likely the same thing will not happen again.